Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Toop, and I have the honor to serve as President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Please join us in the singing of O Canada, led by our University Marshal, Professor Nancy Hermiston, Director of the Opera and Voice Program at the UBC School of Music. Thank you, Nancy. We pause for a moment to give thanks, spiritual and temporal, for the blessings we share in this wonderful world, this great country, this blessed province, this splendid university, and we respectfully acknowledge the traditions and customs of the Okanagan Nation and its people, on whose traditional territories we are gathered today. We give thanks for these proud students, their families and friends on this most happy occasion. Please be seated. Madam Principal, distinguished colleagues, honored guests, members of the UBC graduating class of 2014. What a great day for you graduates. Congratulations. I know you've worked hard, had some fun, I hope, and now you're ready to take on the world, or at least a part of it. But I can't help but feeling a bit sorry for you too. After all, if you listen to too much talk radio or you read the blogs of too many self-appointed opinion leaders, yours is a generation of university graduates set to face an employment crisis. The CBC recently called you Generation Screwed. I'm sure you've heard all the tired tropes. You're all about to become baristas or gym attendants. If you have a Ph.D., you're most likely to be driving a taxi. You don't have any skills, yet you expect too much. Canada needs only job-ready technicians who will fit pipes and run heavy machinery. Well, I have one message for you today. Forget all that. You are going to prove the naysayers wrong. Your generation is going to carve out lives and careers that are meaningful to you, maybe not in exactly the same way that your parents did, but you have every opportunity and responsibility to make your own distinctive mark on our society. Why am I so confident in your positive trajectory? Well, first, because you've already made one of the most important decisions in your life, choosing to go to university. Get past the stale anecdotes about baristas and look at the facts. Students with a university degree consistently have greater success at finding and retaining employment than those without a degree. Across Canada, university graduates have the lowest unemployment rate of any group, including trades and apprenticeship grads. University graduates also have the highest wages. Now, don't get me wrong, there is nothing at all problematic about choosing a technical vocation if that's where your passion and skill lies. Our world needs people who are good at their jobs and who care about their work across every employment group. But don't be misled by false claims that you were choosing unwisely in going to university. You were making the choice that tens of millions of people have made over the last century and this, seeing that the very best way to create opportunity and social mobility is a university education. I'm also positive about your prospects because you are collectively savvy. You applied to university in record numbers, and you worked hard to get here. You've chosen programs that fit your passions, where you were most likely to succeed and to explore your full potential. You've resisted the temptation to think too narrowly about what is immediately marketable, knowing that education is about citizenship and about enriching your spirit as much as it is about jobs. You're not bound by rigid ideas of what you can do with your degree, and you're right about that. Careers and lives are unpredictable, never more so than today. Change is endemic. Ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt studied engineering. The CEO of Bloomberg Media studied theater. Astronaut Marc Garneau studied science. The dean of Harvard Law School's an education grad. Financier George Soros studied philosophy. So did English comedian Ricky Gervais. I think you knew that your education has to prepare you for jobs that haven't even been invented yet. And that's why you've increasingly demanded that your programs include more opportunities for developing practical and analytical skills. Why so many of you have pursued co-op and internship opportunities, gone global, developed leadership skills in clubs and student government, undertaken community service learning. You've known that much of your growth in university occurs outside the classroom, in residences, on playing fields, in protesting something that worries or upsets you. Yes, even at the well. Finally, I have confidence in your prospects because you've learned so much in your time at UBC. I'm not thinking about the detail, the formulas, the theorems, the theoretical approaches, or the data. I'm thinking about what you've learned about you and the myriad places for you in our world, about the ways in which you can make a difference for your families and our society. As I step down later this month as president of UBC, I do so with enormous confidence in our future, confidence gained primarily from watching you. You know far more about the world than did my generation of graduates. You're less caught up following a narrow set of paths to success. I think that you're more willing to take risks. All right, one or two of you may end up working as a barista, but only for a little while you figure out how you're going to make the world better. Thank you for what you are going to make happen. Good luck and congratulations. I'd now like to invite Professor Deborah Buzzard, Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the Okanagan campus, to make remarks and introduce other speakers. Professor Buzzard.
Thank you, Professor Toop. To the graduating class of 2014, congratulations. You have all made it. I bet there's just one or two of you in this room right now who are thinking some days you weren't sure you were going to end up here, but you are. Congratulations to you all. Today marks a major milestone in your life. Graduation from university is a tremendous achievement, indeed one of life's most rewarding and challenging pursuits. I want to take a moment to encourage you to think back on what you've learned over the course of your studies. You've all developed a new level of expertise in your chosen field and will no doubt put that knowledge to use in whatever path you take in life. But for a moment, think beyond your specific area of study. Consider all of the ways you've grown and developed during your time here. You've refined your ability to take in and process new information. You've acquired critical thinking skills, new ways of thinking about a problem, and the many possible ways to solve it. These are the types of skills that a university education brings, regardless of your field of inquiry. After today, all of you will have in your possession a UBC degree. From here on, when you tell people that you are a UBC alumnus, be it an employer, a coworker, a friend, or someone you meet anywhere in the world, you'll be letting them know all of these great things about you. Because a UBC degree doesn't just demonstrate tenacity or qualify you for a specific job, it prepares you for a lifetime of thoughtfulness, perception, rationality, and to contribute to your community. In my view, these are the hallmarks of citizenship. As you leave the university, I encourage you also to cherish and maintain the relationships that you've made here. As powerful as your education will be throughout your lives, I can assure you that you will turn to your friends and mentors far more often than to the chapters that you reread just before a midterm or the many papers that you wrote while you were here. Use your skills and knowledge, of course, but also draw upon the network that you have now and keep building it. As a member of UBC's network of more than 300,000 alumni living and working in 120 countries, you already have an extraordinary UBC social network ready-made. Life will change by plan, by surprise, but be confident that your capacity to not only cope with that change, but actually to thrive in a world where little remains the same for very long and careers take unexpected and numerous turns. I was born in the north of England, the granddaughter of a coal miner. I was lucky enough to get to university and to find my passion, which was in plant biology, and to end up beginning a career that took me to becoming a plant breeder and to having a wonderful time breeding strawberries. What could be more fun and more delicious? And here I am now at UBC, at this incredible community of scholars that has been built here in such an unbelievably short time here in the Okanagan. My family and I simply could not have imagined that adventure. And here you all are today, setting out on your adventures. With your UBC education, you will leave here prepared to adapt to whatever life brings you. Use all of the assets that you've gained here to their absolute fullest. Be tenacious, be flexible, be bold, be open to new opportunities. Indeed, seek them out. Be prepared to follow paths that you couldn't anticipate, can't even imagine today as you leave this university, because there will be many more of those opportunities that you don't know about than the ones that you can actually imagine as you leave UBC today. You've heard the UBC motto, "Tuum est." It's written around the campus today. It translates to, it's yours, and UBC is yours. But it also translates to, it's up to you. And indeed, the world and the future is yours, and how it turns out is up to you. On behalf of the University of British Columbia and our entire Okanagan campus, I congratulate you on all your achievements and wish you every success. Well done, class of 2014. I'm pleased at this time to call upon Torrin McLaughlin, member of the graduating class, to make remarks.
Thanks very much. President, honored guests, and fellow graduates, greetings, thanks once again, and congratulations to you all. Today is a yay-saying day. We have happy noises to exchange with each other and gather our yes papers, celebrate big thinks in our capes, and generally amuse each other with gratifying gestures, not to mention the best of our respective colognes and perfumes. This is fine. Let us do this. I exhort everyone here, have a look around and have a care for all the mental sweat we've produced to get these degrees. Oh yeah, if it were all evaporated, it would make a virtual chalk line big enough to circle the corpse of our collective youth and youthful dreams about the significance of the degrees we're all receiving today. And hopefully that's not too morbid or cynical, because I do actually feel as though I'm graduating among phantoms and ghosts. Near to me are the ghosts of the once friends that I started out at UBCO with, and I see their fleshly counterparts that have become members of different social circles and have desires and habits alien to me now, though they were once fiercely familiar. And under my cap somewhere, I'm not wearing it right now, is the specter of a teenager, probably 30 pounds lighter, probably more, and 5 years less world-weary, though also probably miles more inconsiderate and self-assured. That last point, authority, self-confidence, or however you like to say it, is usually the crux of these types of addresses. Whether or not to celebrate or be cynical of your accomplishments within and through the Academy, as well as the Academy itself. And the answer is obviously to be both. Community is complicity, and knowledge is the fault of rumors, prejudices, and meanness as much as it is the product of fact, scientific method, or receptiveness. To a mest, it's a tomb. So these are some of the deaths I carry with me today, of my past selves and the selves of those around me, and of the discourse of knowledge as something that advances or is to be advanced, which is the traditional function of the university. This is important to me, to acknowledge the losses in identity, ideology, or whatever that learning brings about. And I think it's an appropriate way to recognize the sacred value of our interconnectedness and need of others. Sacred because fragile and dangerous in sometimes extreme ways. Every student knows the mortally terrifying despair that final exams or essays are, or were, capable of inducing, and the only half-joking tone in which we might never again, at the glibest, darkest, most 3 to 4 a.m.-est moment at the end of semester, utter curses on all existence. And we know how actually touching and important it can be to utter these curses with somebody, sharing in the ritual, depression, and depravity. And parents, professors, mentors, financiers, guardians, administrative assistants, supervisors, coordinators, etc. forever, we have felt your love, respect, and help at every moment, whether spread across the course of a degree or in the slightest word between offices or classrooms. Thank you again, immensely, for being there when ideas, schedules, commitments, friends, or colleagues had us losing our frames of reference, our conveniences of thought and habit, and our minds, repeatedly, constantly, violently, in open or closed spaces on a Tuesday, on every Tuesday, in bashful apologies, freaky dissolute, anti-shame, or whimpering, soul-evacuating totality. What we have left, we owe to you. And so I'd like to make note of the 2014 grad class gift, which I find peculiarly fitting to the tone of this short address. I'm honored to announce that Alumni UBC will be placing commemorative stone tablets on campus to symbolize our lifelong ties to the university, and to represent every proud alumni member who once attended here. I like to think of these as little tombstones for what each of us has lost here over the past handful of years. So go ahead and celebrate, drink, eat, be merry, and multiply each other's happiness. We have earned this privilege individually and as a community in so many ways. Congratulations, UBCO graduating class of 2014. But always remember, see it in the faces of the people you love and the people who support you. We are all, always, irrevocably losing together. Happy day.
Thank you, Torrin. I now ask Professor Cynthia Matheson, Provost and Vice Principal of the Okanagan campus, to introduce the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation. Professor Matheson.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the Award for Teaching Excellence and Innovation. This award, including a $3,000 prize, recognizes outstanding teachers at the Okanagan campus as nominated by students, faculty colleagues, and alumni. The award highlights the importance of teaching in creating an outstanding student experience. At this time, I would like to announce the recipient of the Junior Faculty Award for Teaching and Excellence in Innovation, Dr. Mina Herfar from the School of Engineering. Dr. Herfar was unable to join us at the ceremony today because she is away on a research trip, which actually indicates her amazing range of talent. However, I will read her citation in her absence, as many of her colleagues and students are present. Dr. Mina Herfar is an associate professor in the Faculty of Applied Sciences School of Engineering, and she is regarded by her colleagues and students as, I quote, a truly remarkable educator. She has been on the teaching honor roll for the past 4 consecutive years. First and second year engineering students recognized her excellence with the Pioneer Award for Teaching in 2007, and senior students recognized her with the Mechanical Engineering Teacher of the Year Award in both 2012 and 13. She sets extremely high standards for teaching and research and has created an environment in which her students are encouraged to learn and grow both in their research skills and professional development. Since 2006, she has supervised 18 undergraduate students, 7 master's students, and 9 Ph.D. candidates, and consistently provides undergraduates and graduate students with the tools to achieve excellence in their engineering careers. She attracts the best and brightest undergraduates to her fuel cell research lab and provides them with a truly exceptional educational experience. As one nominator said of Dr. Herfar, students line up to be in her sphere of influence. She has also been instrumental in the School of Engineering's success, developing multiple new courses, arranging for student internships with industry, and working to secure awards to support students and their learning. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Mina Herfar.
Thank you, Professor Matheson. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting the candidates for degrees who have successfully completed their studies and fulfilled the conditions that the university has set for them. The Okanagan Senate of this university recommends them to you for the degrees that will be announced by a representative of the faculty. As each degree is officially conferred, the Dean of the Faculty, and in the case of graduate students, the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will congratulate the student. Sean Hawkins and Bill Dunsmore, members of the alumni community, will present each student with an alumni gift. The candidates will please be seated.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Hadi Firouzi. Dr. Firouzi developed an efficient and robust machine vision framework to automatically identify and track moving targets in an imaging sequence. The hierarchical structure of his tracking algorithm enhances its reliability and performance in comparison with commonly used tracker methods. Dr. Firouzi. Farzad Amin-Ravin. Dr. Amin-Ravin developed a non-traditional decision support system for online monitoring of water distribution networks to enhance safety and security of our modern societies. He showed that the multifaceted monitoring system for early warning of anomalies in water distribution networks enables municipalities to take timely, preventative public health interventions in case of potential water quality failures. Dr. Amin-Ravin. Mohammed Nuruz Islam. Dr. Islam developed a novel method for piezoelectric actuator characterization used in micro and nano positioning. He developed a position self-sensing technique which replaces traditional sensors in position feedback control. The research also presents a sensorless temperature estimation technique and position control under self-heating phenomenon in the actuator. Dr. Islam. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Applied Science in Civil Engineering. Mohammad Riza Dabagian. Afrin Hossain. PKM Monarujaman. Vithana Palpita Koralaji Rajiv Jayanga Ruparatna. M.D. Shanawaz. Abdullahil Kafi M.D. Wahuna Nabi. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Applied Science in Electrical Engineering. Nima Moazem. Jacqueline Nichols. Samuel Schaefer. S.M. Sharir Tanzil. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Applied Science in Mechanical Engineering. Elahe Agrabi. David Kaddish. Nikolai Coomer. Tazrif Rahman.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Arts. Natalie Ann Ingram. Daniel Tracy. Karo Shamui Calaret. Stephanie Tolman.
Mr. Lucas.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering. Shu Kai Chen. Mandana Ganyi. Wendy Zhang.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Master of Fine Arts. Janice Lorraine Mayers.
No reader.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science. Shashiprabha Bandara. Michael Bertenseld. Emery Best. Stuart Paul Bertuzzi. Trevor Norman Stanley Billows. Riley Brayman. Philip Kamsuen Chan. Bhavish Chauhan. Stephen Chick. Michael Connolly. Drew Crawford. Dustin Krabiston. Anton Trevor Debogorski. Tyler Grant Dixon. Megan Celine Gardner. Caleb Andrew Gertz. Christopher Hall. Ryan Hall. Dana Christine Hergot. Barlas Ali Ilter. Kent Nicholas Jones. Jade Jordan. Andrew James Joseph. Samuel Kagan. Jared Nathan Kestevan. Alison Therese Lambert. Eric Matthew Larson. Kyle Lawrence. Kyle Lusu. Heather and Louise Mallory. Andrew Martin. Ross Nicholas McLean. Matthew Mendez. Devon Wayne Moore. Owen James Morton. Dennis Christopher Nelson. Jamie Lynn Nielsen. Matthew Willett. William Michael Patterson. Tanner York Phillips. Christopher Gregory Piper. Michael David Irvin Pushka. Michael John Reedon. Rajan Sharma. Ryan Stewart. Alison Stout. Kyle Christopher Stratton. Craig Michael Tash. Austin Martin Wabel. Jared Walls. Benjamin Weishaupt. Mark Henry Bergen. Kenneth Bitgood. Suzanne Campbell. Richard Ernest Cleveland. Christopher Joel Cohen. Sean Dengel. Samuel Hans Fries. Richard Goslin. Cole Grayston. Nathan Ink. Kevin Kendall. Aaron Kessler. Christine Lowe. David Bennett Martin. Sung Tae Moon. Rinosuke Nakamatsu. Wesley Neil Nygaard. Bradley Reinholz. Benjamin Sawkins. Lauren Kate Whale. Wilhelm Wengren. Timothy Michael Westgate. Richard Tyler Worthing. Sakline Ali. Simranpal Bains. Paul Banwell. Brandon Basso. Paul Booth. Rylan Boyd. Josh Bradshaw. Andrew Stephen Coppold. Matthew David Gagnon. Robert Henke. Christian Reed Jürgenlink. Amir Khan. Sean Nicholas Kinmoth. Matthias Larrock. Kaylee Amanda McCrae. Emma McGill. Alexander Raphael Melnick. Megan Ormrod. Joel Parisian. Sean Pellerin. Shomari Anvele Powell. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the recipient of the University of BC Medal in Engineering Head of the graduating class, Jonathan Prosey. Luke Robleski. Lucas Rusak. Mitchell Ryder. Britannia Pavan Sandhu. Christopher Shanks. Robbie Sharma. Jason Smith. Spencer Sumanik. Kiyofumi Alex Takanishi. Christine Ann Vidi. Lai Sui.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. Caitlin Fetback. Graham Meiklejohn. Shay Marie McMartin. Christina Hebert. Jade Virginia Hignett. Rebecca McDonald. Grace Elizabeth McKinnon. Logan James Saunders. Nicholas Vrugdenhill. Kelsey Bree Anderson. Sherilyn Marie McLeod. Laura Nicole Sharpaletti. Regina Alejandra Gayou. Asha Nicole Young. Kelsey Alexandra Millman. Morgan Lynn Armstrong. Ellen Campbell. Mark Alexander Curry Buchanan. Andrew Bates. Torrin Joseph McLaughlin. Shaliza Kareem Dahani. Lindsay Michelle Ferrugia. Brittany Nicole Ganzini. Pamela May Higgins. Belinda Klukas. Holly Louise Lansdowne. Shanice Caitlin Pidlusny. Isla Skitko. Benjamin W. Stringer. Catherine Tatum. Lisa Weatherson. Stacy Schmidt. Joseph Dylan Oringer. Crystal Baird. Paige Elizabeth Powells. Brittany Turlock. Nicole Katerina Beaudry. Chelsea Ray Yvonne Bond. Renee Lane. Taylor Eleanor Sarche. Kimberly Caitlin Fair Hunter. Jillian Festival. Chelsea Marie Van Dulken. Jessica Amelia Gonzalez. Abby Cambites. Ariel Bone. Samantha Caron. Kristen Mailhot. Andrea Devon Kirkham. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts. Dean Krawchuk. Melissa Leah Stein. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the head of the B.F.A. graduating class, Casey Belahowski. Kate Carr. Jada Connor. Taylor Adam Crane. Fraser Imon Crowley. Bethany Edwards. Maria Pilar Guinea. Christina Hemmingson. Catherine Holden. Tanatswa Fend. George Dylan Prince. Gemma Mackenzie Rose. Caitlin Seraphin. Jessica Lauren Cyrillic. Ashley Janelle Tarran. Kylie Millar. Amanda Lee Spearman. Alia Popoff. Devin Ashley Kennedy.
And now comes quite an important bit. For those graduates who have just crossed the stage today, and for all of those unable to attend today's ceremony, with respect to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program, I hereby admit you. Will the graduates please rise? It's been my great pleasure to meet and congratulate each member of today's graduating class. You've all invested a great deal of determination, focus, and hard work in obtaining your degree. But now, just as you graduate, this would be the perfect time for you to turn around and show your appreciation for the support of your parents, family, and friends by giving them a big round of applause. Having crossed the stage today, you are now members of the Convocation of UBC. You are in good company. Since UBC began granting degrees in 1916, more than 300,000 women and men have crossed a stage just like this one to receive their degrees and have gone on to build our communities and shape our society. As alumni, your relationship with UBC begins anew. You can maintain your voice in the affairs of UBC through your elected representatives in the Senate, by mentoring today's students, or by participating in UBC's many volunteer opportunities here and abroad. And as lifelong learners, you'll always be welcome to come back and take a course or two. I encourage you to stay involved and be a part of the future of this great university. You have much to offer UBC, as it still has much to offer you. Tuam est. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and that all of you will be able to join us after the ceremony in the courtyard for refreshments. Guests are please requested to remain in their places until the academic procession has left the building. Thank you all for joining us today. And I know you will join me one last time in congratulating the fabulous class of 2014.